I'm going to talk about a very different topic when we are considering open mic. Actually, when I was 17, I started a startup of my own. And I want this culture to be more adaptive in our society, that young people get into the entrepreneurial thing in India at a very young age. So I'm going to be talking about a theory which I learned from my mentor, which we do to evaluate when we have an idea for a startup. The theory is called the Delta 4 theory. So basically, when we are doing a startup or when we are in the birth of an idea, we are looking out for an inefficiency. Humans are always looking to make their systems more efficient to live a better life. So we are looking for inefficiencies to solve them and create a solution for every inefficient systems. Let me give you an example. In the previous times, when we had to book a cab or we have to go somewhere using an auto, the method that we use is completely different from what we are doing today. We have Ola, Uber, and transit systems like these today. And now let's call the previous behavior that we used to have for booking a cab state 1, and the type of behavior that we do to book a cab today is state 2. Now I would like to ask you guys for a rating for the behavior that we used to have before to book a cab and the behavior we have now for booking cabs. Anyone would like to give a number out of 10? In the earlier times when we used to book autos, rickshaws or cabs to move to any place, out of 10 anyone would like to rate it? 6.
5.
Can you have some more numbers?
5.
5. 4. We have a 2 as well. And now I would like you to number the new behavior that we use to book a cab, which is Ola, Uber and systems like this. Anyone would like to give a number?
8 and 9. 8 to 9.
7, 8, 10. So on an average of this room if we take, we can see that the delta between the previous behavior and new behavior is greater than equal to 4. And whenever we are developing a product or a company or a startup, whenever this delta between the previous behavior and new behavior is greater than 4, we create wealth. Let me give you another example. We all have heard about IRCTC, right? If anyone has booked railway tickets before, we use IRCTC today. But if we go 10 years back down the line, everyone had to go to the railway stations, stand in front of the ticket counters to book a ticket. Now, if we check the previous behavior, you would like it at around 2, 3 something, and the new behavior possibly at 8 or 9. So again, we see that the delta between the previous behavior and new behavior is again greater than equal to 4. And whenever we do this, we unlock 2 things. The number one thing is irreversibility. So whenever someone moves to a greater than delta 4 behavior, that behavior is irreversible for that human to go back to. We cannot imagine going back to the railway station and standing in front of long queues in front of the railway ticket counters to book a ticket now. So basically what IRCTC has done is created a behavior which is irreversible now, so that we cannot go back to the old behavior, right? The second thing which the greater than delta 4 behavior unlocks is UBP, which we call unique brag-worthy proposition. Now what is this? Unique brag-worthy proposition is, let me just explain this to you using an example. How many of you have used Truecaller here? We all might have used Truecaller, right? How many of you downloaded Truecaller by seeing an ad of it? Yeah, maybe one. But most of us has downloaded Truecaller because it was told to us by someone who bragged about it. If we go a few years back when Truecaller was initially launched in India, we used to go to our friends and tell them that you tell me a number and I tell you the person which to this number belongs to. So whenever we go to a greater than equal to delta 4 product which is excellent, we cannot stop bragging about it. So these companies do not then need marketing corpus to elaborate and expand their products. Truecaller spends very less on marketing, but the product in itself is so good that people cannot stop bragging about it, and therefore it spreads so well among the audience. Right? Now let's take an example of a behavior or company which is not delta. Every one of us has at some point ordered clothes online, right? And we have also gone to the stores to buy clothes, right? So let me ask you, the previous behavior is going to the stores to buy clothes and the new behavior is buying clothes online. So I would like to have a rating on going to the stores to buy clothes out of 10.
8.
10,
8.
8. Alright. Now I would like to have the new behavior which is going online and buying clothes.
5 and 6.
So here what we can see is the delta between the previous behavior and new behavior is not greater than 4. It is somewhere between 1, 2 or maybe 3's. And in this kind of behavior what happens is it is exactly opposite to what happens when we go on a delta 4 product. It behaves exactly opposite to it. One bad behavior in the online shopping of clothes and you go back to the previous behavior of buying clothes and going to the stores, right? So this was a delta 4 theory which is proposed by Kunal Shah of Cred and which I to him see as a mentor. And I would like to thank every one of you for giving me this opportunity to talk about a very different topic on an open mic. So thank you.